Kirishima X Listener. Protection from Mineta. The common room in YOY Heights Alliance dorm rooms buzzed with the usual post-training energy. Laughter echoed off the walls on the Class 1A, unwounded after a long day of quirk drills. You sat on the oversized couch, legs tucked under you, scrolling through your phone while nursing a cold drink. The faint scent of sweat and instant ramen lingered in the air. Classic hero in training vibes, but still kind of gross. Kirishima sat beside you, his arm draped over the back of the couch, fingers brushing your shoulder ever so often. His red hair was still slightly spiked from the day's exertion, and that signature toothy grin never left his face when he looked at you. Being his girlfriend meant constant little reminders about how lucky you felt, the way he'd hardened just enough to give you a gentle protective nudge during sparring practice, or how he'd always save you the last piece of meat at dinner because, quote, it's the manly thing to do, unquote. Today was awesome, babe, he said, voice booming with enthusiasm, even at normal volume. You're totally crushing that endurance run. Your quirk's getting sharper every day, so manly. He laughed, leaning into his side. Thanks, Edro. I couldn't have done it without you and your cheering from the sidelines. Feels like I have my own personal hype man. He flexed one arm playfully, the muscles rippling under his tank top. It's what I'm here for. Gotta support my girl. We're a team, unbreakable. The moment was sweet, the kind that made the chaos of hero training feel worth it. But peace in the dorms never really lasted long, especially when certain people were around. Hey, cutie. A high-pitched, sleazy little voice cut through the chatter like a bad quirk malfunction. Mineta bounced into view, his grape-like hair jiggling as he zeroed in on you with that all-too-familiar glint in his eye. He was short, sure, but his ego and his persistence made up for it in the most annoying way possible. The rest of the class had just learned to tune him out or shut him down, but he never really seemed to listen or learn. He shifted, scooting closer to Kirishima. Hey, Mineta, we're kinda in the middle of something, dude. Mineta ignored the hint entirely, climbing onto the arm of the couch like he owned the place. His eyes raked all over you in the way that made your skin crawl. Oh, come on. You were looking extra fine today after training, all sweaty and glowing. Man, it's a crime that you're wasting it on this rockhead. Come on, let a real pro show you some moves. I got spiky spears, and I can trap you in all the right ways, if you know what I mean. He wiggled his eyebrows, producing a couple of the sticky balls from his head and tossing them lightly in his hands like some kind of perverted party trick. The room quietened a bit. A few classmates glanced over. Kaminari snickered from across the room, but even he looked a little bit secondhand embarrassed. Chira rolled her eyes so hard it was audible. You forced a polite smile, but your voice was firm. Mineta, no, I'm with Kirishima. Stop. We've talked about this. He rolled his eyes. Kirishima, that goody two-shoes. He's all talk and, like, this honor thing that he always says. I bet he doesn't even know how to treat a lady, right? Me, I'd worship the ground you walk on. Literally, I could make a throne out of my balls for you. He leaned in close, one sticky hand reaching towards your arm as to help you get up, or something equally unwell. That was the moment the air shifted. Kirishima's easy grin faltered. His red eyes seemed to harden a little bit, and that playful spark hardened as well into something sharper. You felt his body tense beside you, muscles coiling like a spring. He didn't yell, not at first, that wasn't his style, but the protective instinct kicked in hard, the same one that made him charge into battle without a second thought for anything. Whoa, hold up, little dude, Kirishima said, Calm but edged with steel. He sat up straighter, his broad frame suddenly seemed even bigger as he positioned himself between you and Mineta. That's my girlfriend, man. And the touching, that's not cool, that's not manly at all. Mineta blinked then smirked, clearly not reading the room. Manly? Please. Real men take what they want. She's too good for your boring chivalry crap. Watch this. He hopped forward, sticky balls activating as he tried to grab your wrist with that gross, overconfident leer. Big mistake. In a flash, Kirishima's skin hardened with that low crack sound, turning to that signature unbreakable red rock. He didn't even need to go full unbreakable mode. This was enough to make his point. His hand shot out, gentle but firm, and grabbed Mineta's wrist mid-reach, stopping him cold without hurting him. Yet. Back off, dude. Kirishima's tone was low, serious, the boisterous energy replaced by that rare, unshakable resolve. His eyes bored into Mineta's unblinking. You don't get to talk to her like that, and you don't get to touch her. Ever. She said no, that should be enough for any real man. Mineta squirmed, his sticky quirk trying to activate against Kirishima's hardened grip, but it just slid off uselessly on the rocky surface. Hey, easy, it was a joke. You're always going on about being tough. You can't take a little competition. Competition? Kirishima let out a loud, disbelieving laugh, but there was no humor in it. He released Mineta's wrist and stood up fully, towering over the smaller boy. The common room felt smaller with his presence. This isn't a game, man. Respect isn't optional. You keep pulling this crap with the girls in our class, and one day it's gonna bite you back. But especially with her, it's not happening. Not while I'm around. He didn't raise his voice or throw punches. Kirishima just wasn't that kind of guy. But the quiet intensity in his hardened form looked like he was an immovable wall of pure chivalry in action. Mineta stumbled back, finally sensing the shift, his usual bravo cracking. Geez, fine, no need to get all rocky about it. I was just complimenting her. Compliments don't make people uncomfortable, Mineta, you add, finding your voice again, with Kirishima's solid presence beside you. Seriously, you do it to everyone. Knock it off. It's gross. Kirishima glanced back at you, his expression softening instantly. The hardening receded from his skin and he reached out, offering you his hand. You took it, letting him pull you up gently against his side, his arm wrapped around your waist. You okay? He murmured to you, thumb rubbing the small circle on your hip. Yeah, thanks to you, my big, strong, manly hero, he joked. That brought the grin back to his face, bright and genuine. Anything for you. Come on, no regrets, ever.